Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKadosh. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say Shalom to you Akim and Akwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. Slacking. This one, I mentioned this one yesterday. All right, this one's kind of just flowing through it. All right, I don't know if I'm gonna add other things to it or not. I'm a little bit strapped on time. I'm gonna have to finish this one on my break today, Lord willing, because I don't think we're gonna have enough time to get all the way through it. But the title of this lesson is simply, "Don't be like Spawn." All right, don't be like Spawn. Okay, and for those who don't know who Spawn is, all right, Spawn is a comic book character back in the day created by this guy, Seth MacFarlane. You might know some of his work. He's the one who's like, he got really famous for making they call him the spaghetti webs, Spider-Man, the most like iconic, well, not, I wouldn't say the most iconic. My personal favorite Spider-Man, the mid-90s Spider-Man, with like all the grizzled, dark, like the big old eye sockets and all that stuff. That was, made popular by MacFarlane. All right, and he made this comic. All right, we'll go to the cover, called Spawn. All right, a roundabout rundown of what it is. It's my personal favorite comic book series. Now, there's a lot of wicked stuff in it too. All right, as there is with anything in media. All right, MacFarlane's a self-proclaimed atheist, so of course there's going to be denial of religious stuff, even though it's largely religious centered. All right. So I have, in my comic book app here, of course, it talks about, what happened. So basically, we'll flip through some of these scenes and basically tell you what happened. So Spawn used to be a so-called black guy, all right, a Jake named Al Simmons. Al Simmons worked for the military, right? I can't remember exactly what branch he was in. I think it was some sort of like special ops program where they were doing some weird shady shit, right? Al didn't really like this too much. All right, and Al was, I don't remember if he was speaking out about it or however it happened, but the military killed him. All right, it says, "I remember there was someone to love, someone to hate, and I was something special." And it shows him he was like, a military beast. It said, "and proud of it for a time." It shows the American flag. It says, "Then they turned on me." All right, the military says, "He turned on me. I remember dying." It says, "And her, oh God, she's so beautiful." And that's speaking of his wife, Wanda. All right, it says, "I need, he gave, I had to. All I could think of was her. So I promised and he accepted, all because of her." So he made a deal with the devil, and this devil in this universe is called Malbolgia. All right, and basically he promised Spawn that he'd be able to see his wife again, but he pulled a trick. All right, he'd be able to see his wife again, but he'd never be able to be with his wife again. All right, because he said you could see your wife. Basically, you could see your wife, but by the time Al had died, when he was reincarnated, well, not, I don't want to use the word reincarnated, but when he was re-put in this body of a hell spawn, it had been years upon, Al had been dead for years. All right, so his wife had already remarried. So he got to see his wife with another woman, all right, with a child. He was infertile, all right, so he couldn't have children. But now that guy gave, so it basically, fucked with Spawn's mental state. And, all right, of course you got, what is it, Salmon Twitch. And if you ever read it, you can see that in the first couple of comics, he's mentally distressed, See, it shows you, and really it was all for a woman. All right, he simped out all for a woman and basically sold out for a woman. He was burned alive. If let's see what this one says. That's the end of this comic. We basically flipped through it. But anyway, the roundabout ways, don't be like Spawn, man. All right, there's several topics we want to touch in here. Receiving the mark. All right, simping out for women. All right, and because if you look at this in a spiritual eye, and you do have to look at a spiritual eye, this guy sold out. He's basically sold his soul. Now, in the worldly way, people think of selling your soul. A little red man pops out with a pitchfork, and you sign in blood. That isn't necessarily how it happens. All right, this selling your soul is more like selling who you are, and giving into this devil. All right, is selling out. That would be selling out. All right, you sold your soul. You sold your ethics, your morals. All right, and for material gain. All right, because you can't physically sell your soul. Your soul doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the Most High. Okay, and, Yahweh is the Father of all souls. He made all the souls. All right. So starting with Yahushai's soul, actually, when he was called Adam. Okay, so don't be like Spawn. All right, so we want to get, of course, Revelation 13 and 16. All right, because in this case, he wanted something. His wife, all right, Spawn. We're gonna refer to him as Spawn. His name was Al, but he's not Al anymore. He's Spawn. Okay, so Spawn wanted something. What did he want? He wanted to be able to see his wife again. He wanted to be with he wanted to be with his wife again, but the devil pulled a one up, just like Esau Edom would, man. Just like Esau Edom would. All right, that you can do this. All right, and it reminded me of the mark. All right, here, because people are going to take the mark. All right, let me get the scripture before I ramble on. This is Matthew 13 and 16. It says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 666. Okay, so this is that little device that Esau wants to give out to everyone. All right, that RF to the I, wait for it, D, C hip. Right, and I got to be careful with my words because Esau is being a fucking pussy lately. All right, and taking my videos down. All right, I don't want him to take this channel down. Now I got 2 strikes on both channels, and now what? All right, so don't be like Spawn, man. And like I said, I was just flowing through the spirit on it, and it really reminds me of, bless you. It really reminds me of bless you. It really reminds me of like when how they're gonna offer up that chip. They're gonna make it sound appealing, man. That you might have a wife or kids, for example. All right, and you might think these people aren't gonna eat. My wife and kids aren't gonna eat unless I take this thing. Or I'm gonna have to take this thing. For whatever it is. That comparatively in Spawn's world. All right, what he did was he sold out. I think he signed a contract, but essentially, what we're comparing it to is the taking of that mark. All right. Because, as you read more Spawn, I think, I'm not sure what brothers are familiar with the series, but I'm sure, brother Neil Lapaya, I'm brother Neil as he goes by now, I'm pretty sure he'd be familiar with Spawn because he likes all those comic book guys, right? So, hey, man, and, the example, being, that Spawn wanted something and he made a deal, all right, with the enemy. All right, we're breaking it down. The enemy to get it. All right, and the enemy ended up tricking him, and that's exactly what Esau is going to do. All right, instead of your wife or whatever, and it could be used that. All right, if you want your wife, if she's going to get taken off to this camp, this FEMA camp, if you don't take this or however it is, you don't know how these devils are going to play it, man. There's 1,000,001 ways they could go with it. All right, we know that they're going to deny food, they're going to deny water, and all these other things in stores, and you won't be able to leave. But we don't necessarily know how all the ins and outs of it. All right. We know all we need to know about it, but we don't know we don't know the name that they're going to call it, Simply Mark. We don't know what the fucking name is going to be, okay? We don't really need to know, all right? Esau's going to come up with the name, but we'll know when we'll see it because it's going to be an RF to the I to the D based device, and you'll know, all right? And it's getting inserted in the scan. Yep, that's it. That's the mark. Don't take that shit, all right? Don't take it. All right, and devil, just as Malbolgia, all right, Satan, the scary demon-like creature in Spawn, offered him something and then pulled a gotcha. Every time I pull up to this plaza, Slakia. So, when he did that, he said, "Oh yeah, you can see Wanda," but guess what? Yeah, he could see Wanda. He pulled a trick. All right, he could go and see her. But he never got back with Wanda, all right? At least not that I've never seen in the comics, all right? So, he eventually gets over his distress. But, yeah, man, Esau's going to pull that same shit, too. They're going to say, oh, you want to eat? Oh, you need a drink? Well, get this thing, and everything will be okay. And guess what? You're going to get that thing, and it's not going to be okay. It might be okay for, like, about a week or two or however long. And then guess what? You're still not going to eat, all right? Because there's a scripture that says, and we can go and grab it real quick. I got to run in here in a minute. You know what it is. You know, they're not going to be eaten like that, because this is Isaiah 65:13. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Okay, so these people aren't going to be eating. They might eat for a time and for a season, all right? But at the end of the day, the Lord's servants are the ones that are going to be eating. And these people that took the mark, they're not his servants. So they're not going to be eating. They might have a little stockpile, but they're going to run out and they're not going to be eating. All right, so it's going to be a big gotcha. All right, or it's going to be, oh, if you get this and then this will happen, and that really won't happen. It's going to be a lie. It's going to be a trick, man. So that's why you shouldn't trust in these devils, all right? And I know it's stretching, but, these thoughts were coming to mind when I was thinking about Spawn. If you really think about it, this guy is a guy who basically essentially took the mark, all right, and not like the not like the one we're going to be getting, not us, Lord willing, all right, but the people of this world, all right, Slakia, now Lord willing, none of us take it, all right, but not like the ones that these people are going to be taking, all right, that are going to be subject to the people of this world, I should say, but in his way, it's, comic booky, and, he had to sign over, and what he got was powers and stuff. You don't know what they're going to say. Oh, if you take this, you can super sight, super hearing, super smell, super taste. You don't know what they're going to do. There's a million, like we said, there's a million and one ways they could play it. All right? So Isaiah 31:1, let's get it. It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. All right, so they don't seek the Lord. All right, so this is going to be those people, and those people when food runs out, or when you can't get clothes, or when you women, you can't go to Sephora and get your little hoe ass come catching eyelashes. What are you going to do? You're going to take the mark, man. All right, you're going to take the mark, and then now you're going to be fucked. All right, a rapid fire right over to Sirach 12:10. All right. Let's rapid fire this one. Not 10 and 11 and 10, but 12 and 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. All right, and for there, right there, we got to pause the lesson, and we'll be right back in just a moment. I got to run in, and Lord willing, I'll see you on my break. So until then, shalom. All right, we're back, brothers and sisters, continuing on. All right, of course, getting back into it, the title lesson being Don't Be Like Spawn. So we just read, I believe just before we stopped the lesson, all right, we read, all right, Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus 12 and 11. All right, I'm going to pick it back up to get back in the spirit. All right, it says, Salakia. It is actually 12 and 10. I think I said 12 and 11. Salakia. Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. All right, so it's only going to get worse and worse. Okay, and again, with the whole topic, don't be like Spawn. Again, as we explained, Spawn wanted to see his wife, so what did he do? He sold out. All right, and of course, it's not going to be the same. There's not going to be no malbolge. You're going to become a hell spawn. All right, but you will become missile food. All right, you're going to become a missile target if you end up taking that chip, man. All right, if you end up taking that chip, it's over for you. You're done. All right, you're not going to be able to repent for that. All right, you're not going to be able to turn back or beg the Lord, Lord, please, Lord. No, it's not going to work, because he's not going to have any mercy on you. All right, because you already made your choice. All right, you trusted in man more than the Lord. Right. So never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. All right, we're going to continue on 11 and 12. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass. Thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. You're gonna be able to peer into him, see what type of guy this guy is. It says, set not by thee, set him not by thee. All right, don't even fucking go near this guy. Right? Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Now, you can't trust this guy in anything. You can't even trust him, as a coworker. All right, because, say if you're the manager, he might try to overthrow you, and here you are, you get either fired or you get demoted, all right, and this guy gets promoted. You can't trust these guys, and you damn sure can't trust them. Take this little chip, and guess what? We'll make sure that you're fed. We'll make sure that you'll get to see your family, and don't do it. You're better off trusting in the Lord, all right? You're better off trusting in the Lord, and the only people that are going to heed that are the elect, all right? Everyone else is going to give into this person's society, and Lord willing, we never do. All right, we don't want no mark, all right? And Lord willing, we're in that same spirit when the end comes, man, all right? But hey, don't be like Spawn, all right? Spawn simped out over for a woman, man. We're going to jump down. We're going to jump down to 1 Esdras 4:26 and get that. So let's get it. It says, yea, many there be... So 1 Esdras 4:26, Slakia. It says, yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. It says, many have also perished, have erred, and sinned for women. And bear with me for just a moment. I got to stop it, and I'll be right back with you guys in just a moment, Lord willing. All right, I think I got a little bit more time. I'm pulling up in the drive-thru, so bear with me. It says, many have also perished, have erred, and sinned for women. All right, look at Al, man. Look at Spawn. All right, he sold his soul for a woman. All right, and some of you simp-ass jakes, you would take the mark for a woman, man. You would. I won't be able to see you like Quisha. I'm gonna have to take this mark in my hand. No. And Jake will do that shit. All right, as it says, 1 Esdras 4:26, yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned. Sin is transgression of the law for women. Right? There you go. So you're going to end up doing some heinous shit. All right? For a woman. All right? You're going to sell your soul for a woman. You're going to sell out. Like I said before, you can't physically sell your soul. It's not your soul. You can't sell it. All right? But you can sell out. All right? You can sell your what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Your morality, all right? You're not your morality, but here, bear with me. We got to pause for a minute. All right, we're back, Slakia. So, I think I said morality. Your morals. So you basically gave out on morals, all right, to give into this devil, all right? You gave out on your morals to give into this devil. So everything you learned not to do, or everything that you should know biblically, all right, don't do this. Don't be a sodomite. You did it, all right? You had to go and do that to become famous or whatever, or do this or take this mark, and taking the mark, that's an extremely wicked act, man. All right, that's when you take that mark, all right, that's saying that you don't need the Lord and that you'd much rather trust in man. Okay, so when you do that, you're gonna have to go ahead and trust in man to deliver you in those days, because the Lord's not gonna do it, because you said you don't want his help. By taking that mark, you said, hey, I don't want your help. Right? And he's gonna respect that, right? The Lord's gonna respect that, and guess what? He's not gonna give you no help. All right? So there you go, man. All right. So and these devils are gonna try to come each and if I could speak, each and every which way. All right. I had a tongue twister there. They're gonna try to come each and every which way. All right, and try to make the scene more appealing. All right, and they say, oh, it's good for that. It's good for that. They'll pull a Malbolgia on you like in Spawn and say, oh, you'll be able to see your wife again. All right, we can go read the origin story of Spawn real quick. All right, Spawn origin story. All right. Let's see. It says, Spawn is an assassin who... This fucking site. Spawn is an assassin who originally killed people for his country, and later, after becoming Hellspawn, decides to atone for all his sins, and he genuinely loved his wife Wanda as one of his driving forces. Okay, he possesses an instinct to protect the weak. Spawn does mean to do good, and doesn't really have villainous goals, but that doesn't stop him from murdering, maiming, and mutilating people. So it's kind of it's kind of a double-minded settlement for who he is. But he generally only kills bad guys, right? but which would mean it doesn't. So he's not necessarily much as a villain as he is a what do they call them, a vigilante. All right, I guess you'd almost consider him like a vigilante. All right, so but it doesn't get to his origin story of where let's see, it's let's see. Man, yeah, Spawn was Spawn's a Jake, all right? So his real name was Al Simmons. Albert Al Francis Simmons was born in Detroit, Michigan, second of three brothers. He was a gifted officer of the United States Marine Corps, all right? He was let's see, he led to his he was basically got put into the CIA, right? He was recruited by Jason Wynn, that's the guy who ended up killing him, into a special top secret covert op division known as U.S. Security Group, an elite task force with jurisdiction in all domestic and foreign situations. All right, him and Simmons began to butt heads more and more. It says Simmons was murdered during a mission in Botswana for USSG's Operation Night Strike by fellow mercenary Bruce Stingson. Oh, Chappell, that's who ended up killing him. It says at the order of Director Wynn, but Director, the Wynn, he basically initiated it. Simmons was sent to hell because of his life as an assassin. There's no such thing as hell. All right, of course, we're pointing this through the spirit, and there's no such thing as hell. All right, it says after arranging a deal with the being known as Malebolgia, which is their universe's version of devil. All right, the devil. All right, in this case, you're not making a deal. All right, with necessarily a spirit. All right, you're going and making a deal with Esau Edom. All right, the so-called white man. It says, after arranging a deal with the being known as Malebolgia, Simmons agrees to becoming a hell spawn in exchange for being allowed to see his wife Wanda one last time. And I guess that's what basically happened. So he ended up becoming, he was a simp. All right, I can't remember exactly how the origin story went, so we read it. All right, so he was a simp. All right, all that just to be able to see his wife again, man. And it was actually more torment for him to actually see her with another man and all that stuff. And it was just ridiculous, all right? And a lot of you Jake are in that saying, don't be like Spawn, man. As the title of the lesson, don't be like Spawn. I know the lesson's kind of, seems a little ridiculous, but there's talking points about it, man. All right? Because, in the comic, he sold out just so he could see his wife again, man. And Jake, when they're taking families away, splitting families apart, throwing people into FEMA camps, Jake gonna do anything they can. Let me see my girl again. Let me just hit it one last time. We gotta take the mark. All whatever's needed to be done, and Jake are gonna do it, man. All right, and as the scripture said in 1 Esdras 4 and 6, there's many of you people are gonna run out your wits for women, all right, and become servants for their sake. You literally gave up all hopes of salvation for a woman, man. You know how ridiculous that is? You know how stupid that sounds? And Esau, getting back on the topic, Esau's going to make it sound, appealing, this chip, all right? He's going to make it sound appealing, or whatever he does, all right? Whether it's the chip or, the roundabout way, it's really talking about the chip, all right, and being a sellout and selling out for women, or, basically giving in and selling out, all right? Really is what this lesson's about, because when you take the chip, you're selling out. All right, but it's the same thing if you bend over and you grab your ankles, all right, for Esau, so you can become a famous basketball player, a famous football player, or a rapper, or a famous actor, all right? That's all selling out, man. You're being like Spawn. All right, you said, yeah, I'll take it. Or just for what, some menial shit that doesn't even mean anything? It's ridiculous, man. And Esau's going to make it sound smooth. All right, let's get that scripture, all right, which is Psalms 55 and 21. You act like Esau ain't gonna make it sound appealing. I'm gonna give you the mark of the beast. They're not gonna call it that, all right? I'm gonna need you to sell your soul to me. Go over and bend over. No, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna say it like that. They're gonna say, hey, you bend over and do this, and then however it is, all right? Not any of us have not been involved in that type of lifestyle that I've known of, at least, all right? And that I know, at least, no one's came out and said anything about it. All right, so we all we know is what the rappers say about those secretive Hollywood parties, man. I've never been to one myself, and many brothers haven't. All right, so we don't know necessarily what they say. We know they bring you back into the little room. They sit you down. There's multiple things they can have you do. They make you put on that white shirt or that tight white shirt. Multiple different ways and different flavors that they do it. It's all wickedness, man. All right, but you wanted to get famous, so you sold out, and they're gonna make it sound, you're gonna have lots of money. You're gonna. These devils, man, they're the devil for a reason, all right? You can't trust them. Psalm 55 and 21, says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So they're gonna sound smooth. All right, go and take this. This is the Neuralink. All right, this is gonna make grandmama be able to stand up again. All right, after decades of cerebral palsy took over. Well, now she's gonna be able to stand again and jump and jive in the churches just like she always used to. And you Jake, Big Mama gonna go ahead and take it. All right, we missed dancing in the churches, and you're gonna go and take it. All right, fucking going Medea on your ass. All right, fucking, of course, Medea's a man, but still, that's just how it's gonna be. All right, just so your ass can get up and jump and jive up in the church. So, Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. All right, and we can get this in good. If I could speak. You can get this in the Good News Translation if you need further edification, but it touches on the same point. It says, Psalms 55 and 21, his words were smoother than cream, but there was a hatred in his heart. His words were as soothing as oil, but they cut like sharp swords. And it doesn't really, you don't even really gain anything more from the Good News Translation. It hits harder in the King James Version, as it usually does. All right, so these guys are going to talk smooth. That's why you see them. They're smooth talkers. They use double speak. All right, whenever you see them on the news or whatever the hell, all right, they're always talking really smooth, saying, we're doing what's in the best interest for the United States citizens of America, the citizens of the United States of America. It's in our best interest as the politicians of this. They always talk real smooth, but what they're really saying is, what's in our mind is the worst for the American citizens, how we can get full control, how we can commit, horrible abominations and atrocities and gain order through chaos. All right, their motto, order ab chaos. That's what they're really saying, but it doesn't sound like that. It says, with the recent developments in the United States of America, we've weighed our options. All right, we've looked at our demographics. We've seen that there is, certain demographics are suffering a great deal. All right, and our plans, all right, our best interest as the politicians of this state of the United States of America is to put together a foundation that can be used for all people to gather us all together and make us all more close and gather us together and all these different things, saying to help you and you to help us, and all together we can live in harmony and make America a little bit greater one step at a time, which really means we want your ass in chains. All right, and us to be on top, us in mansions, and you don't own shit. All right, and they'll say, and I'm not an Edomite, so I can't have the words perfected. But you know what I'm talking about. They talk just like that, saying all these words that sound real smooth, but really what they're saying, it's in our best interest for the United States citizens. They're saying what's in our best interest. That's what they're saying. What's in their best interest, not your best interest. What's in their best interest, man. All right. You can't trust these devils. They're going to make the chip sound good. They're going to make sound on bending over and grabbing your ankles and touching your toes sound real good. Now you're going to have millions of dollars in your bank account. Yeah, it's weird, right? But millions of dollars. And Jake can be like, I don't know. That's some gay shit. I don't really know if I'm down with it. Millions of dollars. What about those gold? Ain't nobody going to know. No one's going to know. P. Diddy, he did it too. Ice Cube, he did it too. Who Durant? Oh, he did it too. All these people. Oh, your favorite rap? Oh, he did it too. Oh, yeah. Patrick Mahomes, he did it too. Well, they all did it, They all did it. We have our teams. I like the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs. Sometimes they can be Kansas City Chiefs. Some people will just say Kansas City Chiefs in general, but especially with the preseason and all that stuff. But anyway, these. More than likely, he probably bent over. He did something. All right, he did something. What's his fucking name? He's transferred. He's playing with the who's he playing for now, man? God damn it! They just did a preseason. What's his name? Aaron Rodgers. He was in Green Bay. I can't remember who he transferred to now, but he probably bent over. A lot of these guys, a lot of your favorite football players, a lot of your favorite musicians. All right, Travis Scott, these people bent over, man. All right? And you want to be just like them. So what are you going to do? When you found out they bent over, you're going to bend over right on. How did he do it? Did he have one leg in the air? I want to be just like him. It's fucking gross. But, a lot of you, Jake, don't care, man. You do it for the money. All right? Just like the scripture says, the love of money is the root of all evil. A lot of people incorrectly quote that scripture, say the root of money, money is the root of all evil. No, money's not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. Okay? Because the love of money, I love money. Bend over and touch your toes then. Okay. That's what's going to happen with you people, man. So let's get Psalms 58 and 3. All right, Psalms 58 and 3. I had to make sure that's the one we were getting. So Psalms 58 and 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. And Lord willing, I put together a lesson. And Lord willing, I'll be able to get it. Lord willing, I'm still in my health and, alive and well to be able to teaching and stuff. We always have to say, Lord willing, you never know what could happen. All right, phone breaks, something happens, stranded in the middle of the desert. Who knows? So Lord willing, all right, Lord willing, we're still making these lessons, all right, and still in this truth. All right, I want to plan on that lesson. Now, the lesson's called, I have it on a sticky note because I made it at work, all right? So I had to put it on a sticky note. Pull out the sticky note here. It's called, I think I know what the title is, but it's called The True Nature of the Ease. All right, of course, speaking of the Edomites, I might change it. It sounds like a very familiar title. One of the brothers or apostles might have had it. All right, the true nature of the E's, or the real, who the E's really are. And I want to do a little series. All right, and this one, I don't know how long it's going to go. The ones I had, coming to mind. The one I put together, this one is the true nature of the Edomites. They love to kill. That's talking about how they like to kill. And then I want to do the true nature of the Edomites. They love to lie. All right, and the true nature of the Edomites, I can't remember the other one. They like to deceive, all right, which I guess goes into lying, all right. But, dealing with, going into a little bit of history and having another little series, a brother, if I could speak. Some of the brothers, I'm too ahead of myself, all right. I'm going too fast. But some of the, I know, the brothers got different series. I know the Elder Apostle Gabar, he just got done with his series. I don't know if it's done yet. It's just about done. His was called, 10 Things the Wacky Tacky Christian Doesn't Understand. All right, his little series. All right, and then I know Apostle Ramallah had a great series called Who Are the E's? All right, Who Are the Edomites? Okay, but not that I'm still ripping off from him, but this one's who are the Edomites, and what do they like to do? What are the Edomites' favorites things to do? All right, and what are they kill, lie, all right, all these different things. Oh, the other one I want to do was play God, or play like they're the Most High. All right, so that's another one I want to do. So, but that I brought that up because this is one of the ones when I get into lying. All right, that's one of the things they like to do is lying. All right, Psalms 58 and 3. You'll see this in there, Lord willing. The wicked are estranged from the womb, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. Let's get it in the Good News Translation. It says, evildoers go wrong all their lives. They tell lies from the day they are born. They are full of poison like snakes. They pop up their ears like a deaf cobra. All right, so, and if you know anything, well, you don't even have to know anything. Cobras are very, very poisonous. Would you want to get, do you know what poison is? It's bad. Poison is not good. So their poison is like the poison of a serpent, all right? And they do the same thing. They're putting that poison out there. And they poison through mindsets and, and media and, going into Jake's hood and having them think, I'm a real hood banger now, all right? All this shit, just dumb. And then they can step back, have their musicians set it up, have, Lil Uzi and all these other people, not necessarily Lil Uzi, because Lil Uzi, all these rappers are more than likely Mo's, but then, Lil Uzi more than likely, more than a little bit of a Mo. And I like some of his music, but you could tell he's fruity just by looking at him. His hair even looks fruity, man. You can just tell he probably wears women clothes. He's probably someone's bitch, honestly. Behind doors, right? Closed doors. Hell, he might be fucking P Daddy's bitch. Who knows? All right. Which a lot of people are P Diddy's bitch. A lot of people are P Diddy's bitch. There's some weird shit going on around with P Diddy. All right. So, hey, man, these people, they're evil, man. So we have a whole series coming up on them. But, that's kind of aside from the topic. We're getting back to the point, don't be like Spawn. And the one thing that Spawn didn't do, and that's the last thing we're going to close out with, is he didn't trust in the Lord. Who did he reach out for? The devil made him a deal, and he could have turned it down, but he wanted to see his wife again. So he didn't trust in the Lord, right? And of course, it's just a comic book, right? Don't know he's bugging out. No, it's just a comic book, all right. But through the Spirit, I was thinking about Spawn the other day, and I said, you know what, I can almost do a lesson on Spawn, because Spawn sold out for a woman, all right, just all for a woman. All right, and we wanted to touch on that many, lost their wit and committed sin over women, right? Roughly paraphrasing of the scripture in 1 Esdras 4:26, all right? So, hey, man, our people are through. So, I wanted to touch on that. Many people, you'll sell out for whatever. When they tell you to take that mark, Jake will sell out for a bag of, I eat Doritos every day and I can't get no Doritos. Put it in me. That's what's going to happen, all over a fucking bag of nacho cheese Doritos, man. If you're Jake, all right, if you're an Edomite, you're going to, you do it for a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos. All right, Cool Ranch it's okay. Everybody knows the nacho cheese is better. But anyway, that's besides the point. I'm just rambling. Let's get Proverbs 3 and 4. Proverbs 3 and 4 through 5 reads, it's actually... all the way down through 6. I didn't have this one highlighted. So Proverbs 3 and 4, it says, so shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of the Most High and man. Verse 5, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. And all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes, fear the Lord, and depart from evil. Another scripture that I can get, I'm actually get one more. Can't remember what it is. Let's get then to put confidence. There's two. And then to put your confidence in men, there's another one that says to put your confidence in princes. This is one we're going to get in Psalms 118 and 8. It says, it is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. And that's going back to that mark, all right, because that mark is it's from a man, Esau Edom. He's gonna be the one to get it, put it in you, all right. And they're gonna have all these chipping stations, and guess what? Your simp ass for your wife or whoever, you're gonna go down there and get it, and then you're gonna die and have a terrible death over some box, all right, or over a box of Doritos or Cheetos or Fritos, all right, or a pack of Newports, right? Or, a bottle of E&J. Who knows? Jake sold out for less. It's just the same thing with the whole you-know-what, all right? And we'll know, what we're talking about, all right? So you can't take this video down for any reason, because how do you know what I'm talking about when I say the you-know-what, all right? You can't assume, all right? But Jake will know, all right? The people watching the video know when that whole you-know-what went out. What were they talking about? Free Krispy Kremes for a year or however long, and what people went and did it, okay? You can't assume what I'm talking about. If you assume what I'm talking about, that's wicked. Trying to take and you just want to take our videos down, all right? You just want to take our videos down because, hey, you're just the devil. You're just the devil, and the devil's going to do things like the devil, and he's going to act like the devil. Why? Because he's the devil, all right? But, hey, don't be like Spawn. Don't trust in these devils. Don't go and run and get the chip because you need something, all right? If you trust in the Lord's going to make sure that you have whatever you need, all right? We just talked about this the other day. All right, we just had a lesson about the mark not too long ago. Okay, so go and watch that if you need more further edification on the mark. But don't be like Spawn. Don't be a simp ass that sells out. All right, for your wife or your kids or whatever, because we're gonna take you're not gonna trust in the Lord that He's gonna keep your wife safe. All right, you're not gonna trust in that. That you might ever see her again. Who knows? She might break out, or you might break out, and you might be running through the fields. I got you, baby. But no, you're gonna try. I'm gonna have to take this chip to go and get her and see her. No, and then you're gonna be crying, and snot's gonna be dripping down your face when you find out it was a gotcha. Gotcha. We already killed her, actually. Ha 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 ha. And that's gonna be you, Jake. So don't do it. Don't be like Spawn. All right, don't do it. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and close out. Sorry for this lesson being a little bit all over the place, starting and stopping. I'd like it to be a lot more seamless than it was. And Salakia for that. But hey, I wanted to get a lesson out regard. It's hey, we have that spirit on us where we need to make a lesson. I'm just Salakia for it being all over the place. I don't like having to piece together all these lessons, but we got to do what we got to do. All right, it's much more seamless, and when we get to just sit down at the desk, all right, and just, have the Spirit flowing with us naturally, on the desk, sitting there. But, when we have to go and at job, stop and, do a little bit before work, after work, during a break, I feel like it's almost, I feel like there's more edification to be had when we actually sit down, but we got to do what we got to do, right? So, hey, regardless of that, I hope this lesson was still edifying, all right, to you brothers and your sisters out there, all right, Lord willing. All right, with that, we're going to go ahead and close out. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory once again to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakak. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing, shalom.